recently I checked out the Daredevil Season 1 suit, and with that, it was a 2-pack, so I also have the other Netflix, basically actual Daredevil suit to take a look at. Was very happy with this one, and actually had a very surprising amount of details and fun accessories. I'm sure this will be no different, so let's check out the content of that packaging. Like I go over in all of Jaka's regular minifigure reviews, got the plastic case that's just held by friction. Got the minifigure right there, magnetic batons, an extra mask to represent the Season 1 look, and a couple different extra heads. One of which is going to be for his later seasons, one of them is going to be Bullseye, and the other one is for the Season 1 mask. Inside, you're going to have the silver card for the Daredevil figure here, showing a little bit of a silhouette there in the black, and the other side of the card, just showing it through the plastic case this time around. You got the Jaka Brick handle there for Instagram and just some warnings. Again, lots to go over. Let's go and toss it on the stand. Starting with this Daredevil suit from the Netflix series, the first thing I want to point out is very similar to the She-Hulk one. So a lot of the design elements from this are reused for this. One thing that is slightly different though is the helmet, where this one has that gray printed on the bridge of the nose for the mask. It is actually molded here, so the helmet is not going to be the exact same part. Where this one, I was really looking at it. Other than that, I believe that is the only difference with the helmet, honestly, is just that little mold on the nose. Looking at the back of the torso is going to be where the biggest difference between the two minifigures is, honestly. Other than that, the back of the legs are going to be pretty much the exact same, other than like the extra bit of printing on this one. And there's that little bit of gold on this one where it is just the black outline that is still there, but obviously there's no gold in between it, but like the shapes on the back of the leg are the exact same. Get that arm out of the way. Looking at the side of the figure, the batons are going to be the exact same. I think the shine is a little bit shinier on the magnets on the new one, but looking at them again, just pretty much the exact same, just no gold on this Netflix one. Just a little bit of an extra like bump there on the black, on like that divider in the middle there, but the baton holder is going to be the exact same, boot design the exact same. Give you the front. This is where there are some differences again, with the boots being slightly different with no laces on the She-Hulk version, but strap for the baton holder the same. Pretty much the same design there, other than the knee pads, which are a different design completely, but just this area is filled in with black versus it just being that dark red on this one. Lots of design is the same from the torso, but not printed the same, I guess. You know, there's like the little bolt in the shoulder there on both of these. The little collar cutout there is going to be a different shape. But belt area here the same, the like ab area the same, just with black instead of just dark red. So that's really interesting to see. Like the masks are interchangeable. The black head here is a little tight though, I've noticed on this first expression. So I'm not going to I put the gold one on off camera, the helmet I should say, and got really stuck on there. You can see right now I'm having an issue getting this helmet off of this head. You kind of just have to get a hold of the neck somewhere with your nail. Yeah, I have to do that off camera. But here's that first expression with the neutral look unmasked. Here it is next to the She-Hulk one, where they're pretty much the exact same. Sorry, the magnets keep connecting. The batons are magnetic, so you can connect them, which he does in the show as well. So that's a nice little feature. Very strong magnet, which is nice, but it makes it hard to pose two of these characters next to each other because of that. But again, the head's pretty much the exact same. This one has that extra little bit of black printed on the head. And with that, I believe they did redesign the black pad because the mouth thickness is also a little different, where this is a little bit thinner on the lip mouth shape. Other than that, it seems to be the exact same, but that is something I noticed. It would make sense that they wouldn't want to waste all the ink on the black on the top of the head there for no reason. But other than that, everything looks to be about the same. Like I said, I'll throw the red mask on the gold head because that one doesn't seem to be tight, but that's kind of a fun look there. You can mix and match. And while we're still kind of in comparison, I have the second head from that She-Hulk Daredevil with a smile here, which is not recreated or included in this set, which is unfortunate, since I do really like this expression for Daredevil. Maybe not the Netflix Daredevil, but it is fun to have a more positive expression. So no direct comparison here. Threw this on my combo pyro for my X-Men display, so it was nice to have an extra head. Now we've done the direct comparisons. I do really like the print on here still. I think everything that they did previously is good to see here again, or slightly different, improved. Shoulder pads there with a little bit of bolts that show where they are held in. Little spikes or metal pieces on the gloves for punching people better, I'm sure. Back of the torso is probably the most plain of the design, where it's just like gray outlines inside of the black to kind of give it different armor plating looks. Do think like these black shapes on the legs are a little interesting. I don't know what those are necessarily supposed to represent. I don't have like a direct frame of reference for the actual suit, but I guess it's kind of fun to see different black parts continuing all along the design. On the sides of the legs, you also have more little just black designs to give the implication again of different fabric pieces connecting. The inside of the legs are going to be printed boots on both sides, which is nice to continue that design all the way around. Kind of interesting again, where dark red to black. There's a dual mold for that already, so in theory, if they wanted to make like a light version of this, they definitely could have. But it is kind of nice, you know, the boots are a little bit lower than where the dual mold would be, since they are below where the holes are. So I could understand why they wouldn't want to go that route. Other companies probably have. I'm pretty sure Chip did, and I'll have his Daredevil Born Again figure at some point when the tariff stuff maybe cools down a little bit and I get another package sent my way. But I've always really liked the front torso area of this suit. I just think that is really interesting and fits together in a fun way. And here is that compared to the Phoenix Customs one that came out way back. It's kind of funny to hear that Adam hadn't actually watched the show when he made this. So interesting look, where it is for the most part pretty accurate. I wonder if this is more of a season 1 style suit though. But I just think the black with the red on the front there looks very cool. You know, kind of a bummer that there's no DD logo, but I don't hate it, I guess. And I can't compare the back of the minifigure because this is a weird test print that I got from his Spidey Rex fundraiser. So that's a very cool one-of-one piece that I got from him. We'll take a more closer look at this figure and some of the other stuff that I did pick up from the fundraiser sort of releases that they did for that, gold minifigures and such. Like you already kind of saw when the two minifigures were by each other, these staff pieces are magnetic. They will stick together. Kind of weird that they're sticking that way. I guess it's not necessarily how I would picture it. I feel like it should be opposite. Here's another set of them that I have where that's what they end up looking like. It's the magnet part and then the hole in the plastic. So I think these are kind of damaged parts, but feel like it should be sticking with the end on the end and not end onto the other end. I guess it doesn't matter too much though, but something I'm just noticing. And we have some more options, so let's toss on another facial option and we can look at the other helmet. Getting to the next one with the gritted teeth look. It is interesting to see that it is not going to be the exact same as the unmasked one from the previous figure, where this one has a little bit of a thinner mouth, where this one's just a little bit wider. And I was just curious when I was looking at this one, I pulled out the head that we just looked at with the neutral look, and this one is a lot more closer. The only difference is that like the little line for like the chin underneath the mouth is slightly higher on the unmasked one and then lower where it gets in the facial hair on the masked one. So I feel like these facial expressions are a lot more closer. These ones are probably supposed to be the same, it's just the mouth size is a little different, so I thought that was interesting. And when it comes to this face too, all the goggles on all the masked heads are going to be the same, so it really will just be the mouth changing size. The facial hair should pretty much be in the same spot as well. Getting the mask onto this one. There we go. Looks good. I feel like maybe the eyes on the mask might be like a little far apart. But, you know, the like proportions of a Lego minifigure, maybe that's just how it has to be. Again, very tight on the head. This one's a little bit tighter on the minifigure neck, so maybe I can slide it off on camera. I don't know. That's something to be careful about. That's just something that Jaka's not great at, is having parts that properly fit around the heads. I'll take that off, and then we'll switch off to the other head. And the next one's going to be the Poindexter bullseye head. And just want to point out, the black on the bottom of the helmet is already chipped. So, yay, another damaged Jaka product. Love to see it. I guess I can try and get a replacement part and then eventually never get it like most of the other ones. But the other unfortunate thing, the helmet's too tight. So just through general use, you can see I'm not like messing with it. It's getting damaged. So that's really unfortunate to see. Feels like maybe this one is the first one where it isn't so tight. Or maybe I guess just don't put that helmet down on the head all the way. But yeah, oh yeah, this is just the first head that actually fits properly, which is kind of crazy. Different tolerances for the plastic. And you can see the difference on this one, no facial hair at all, since it is a different character. So I think it's cool of them to include this head in this minifigure. Kind of reminds me of their Punisher minifigure, where they included the Jigsaw head. So very cool. And I guess you could use this for a more comic Daredevil, since he doesn't always have the facial hair. And I'll just say it's always nice to have options, especially in a minifigure like this, where it's a suit that's pretty much the same across multiple seasons. It's going to look a little different in different episodes, different seasons. So very cool. And of course, you know, the mask actually fits on this head, which is unfortunate, since I'd like it to fit on one of the matte heads better, but we have one more head option, which is going to be slightly different shaped since it has more black on it, and that's going to be for the season 1 look, which is also going to have a different helmet. This one is a bit more of a happy, positive looking head, which I guess is kind of nice to have different expressions. It's just too bad this one doesn't have a more serious fighting face, I guess, but the helmet is also going to be different. A little bit bigger, and what do you know, it actually fits and comes off easily without damaging it. So I guess at least I got one functional helmet. And again, yeah, it's just a little bit different, a little bit wider, since they fit more detail into this one. Probably accurate to the show as well. So this is going to be an all new mold for the minifigure. Can have a lot of the same design motifs though, with the black kind of surrounding it, though it does have like the black acting like a baseball, soccer ball type design, where it is connecting all the way around. You got the weird like ear flap things. And then the dark red on the face too, which is kind of nice and interesting. I don't know, I don't hate this. Maybe I could switch out the head from the Phoenix one to use this mask instead. That could be a decent way to use multiple parts, since this head isn't like super great or anything. It's pretty outdated at this point. I don't even think it has the horns on there, and if they are, it's pretty hard to tell. So that'd be a way to do that. But again, glad I got the 2 different helmets. Again, too bad that the other one's really tight in all the heads, but hey, at least this one works. It's nice to get the new mold here, since the other one is pretty much based off of the She-Hulk version, with just like, again, the one little change. But while we're at it, I guess I'll toss this helmet onto this minifigure just so you can see what that looks like. I would say that's not too bad of a design or look. I think that works. I feel like the helmet's sitting a little low to the mouth though, which isn't, you know, anything to do with the torso. But since I already have this torso leg set, I can at least display the 2 different helmet options here, and I feel like that would be a pretty decent way to do this. Again, since the normal minifigure head isn't like anything crazy, and I do believe it is based off of, like I said, the season 1 look. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. And like I said, I'll probably do this for my display. Negatives of the minifigure: the season 2 and on helmet damaged, and is super tight on the heads, which isn't 100% in their control, I guess, if the plastic tolerance is slightly different on the actual Lego minifigure heads. But still, that sucks to see happen over and over again. But season 1 helmet here looks good. All the parts look good. Just sucks that they don't all fit together perfectly. Let's go to some comparisons and the final verdict. This figure definitely was not without reasonable complaints. I feel like the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, at least in my opinion. I think you get a lot of extra heads that are very nice for different options for display, but also having the extra helmet for the Season 1 look is also a nice touch. And as somebody that owns the Phoenix one, like I said in the review, it's nice to be able to toss this head on there and improve this figure now. I love both of their molded designs for the helmets, whether it is in the red or the gold for the Netflix or She-Hulk version. I think both of them look great. All the different print on the helmet as well is very impressive, getting the lines for the like black outlines of stuff. Everything just looks seamless. And I do really like the dark red on this mask too. It's just very round, I guess, which probably is just the design, not a complaint, I guess, but it just looks like it's like a ball, or like I said, I think a tennis ball, soccer ball sort of looking thing. It is a little interesting to see that the magnets are switched up where they connect, which I don't think that is right based on the show. I looked up pictures earlier and I feel like it should be the two thicker parts where they should connect, but not the case here in this figure. Arm printing, leg printing, all of those look great. Really, it was just the helmet I had the issues with, which is unfortunate because, again, that is one of my favorite parts of the figure. Would really like that to work a lot better. But as a 2-pack, I feel like this is very cool. Probably the Deadpool and Wolverine 2-pack that I got most recently is probably my favorite Jaka 2-pack. The Logan and X-23 2-pack's also pretty good. And I guess also the Invincible one. So I'd probably rank them Deadpool and Wolverine. Honestly, probably Invincible. I think those figures were really great and the value was really there. These Daredevil ones, and then the Logan 2-pack. But all of them are very good and some of my favorite franchises, so very happy to have them in the first place. And this 3-figure lineup of Netflix Daredevil minifigures is definitely going to be included in some of my favorite Jaka minifigures in my collection. All of them are very great for their own different little things. The mat here, I love the facial design. The more homemade suit here, really like the accessories that are included. And then this Daredevil here, just overall, it's a really great package, great accessories, great printing. Just sucks that the helmet's too tight. We got one more of the Defender sort of lineup right now with the Jessica Jones minifigure and the Punisher down the line when I get that in hand from the Jaka store. But it's good to get some Jaka figures where I'm not feeling super negative about them. I feel like pricing-wise, not too much to complain about here. Obviously, these are some of the first minifigures I've gotten that weren't from Minifigs, which has been a bummer to see him not sell anymore due to the backup of all of the pre-orders, but I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about Jaka right now, and I'm excited to get more of their figures, but hopefully things like the helmet fitting just gets better, and that's all I can hope for right now. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to see more custom Lego Daredevil or custom Lego Marvel videos overall, check out all the content on my channel. I have been Brick Radiop, and I will see you in the next video.